Today's theme for the gathering is S.K.M, breaking barriers, building bridges across Guan lands. Yes, it's very, very necessary.
I am Dr. Makita. I have been born in the U.S., but I repatriated 14 years ago. So I have been in Ghana 14 years as an educator. My field of study is Black Studies and African Studies. This book took me 5 years to find it. It is written by, he did rigorous research on the Guans. He traveled through Ghana to study the Guans, and he also traveled through Benin, Togo, and the Ivory Coast. Yes, Guans are there. I'm very proud of the Guan people. I have been gone over 400 years, now I'm back. And I'm trying to help as much as I can. So anyway, I want to present this copy to the president. The copies are very hard to find. And we're trying to get more copies made. And there should be a copy in every university. So anyway, I thank you for your time. I appreciate you inviting me in to your home. Please, there are not many copies. Okay, this is one copy that I got from Pennsylvania. He had it published in Pennsylvania. I have another copy. We need to work with other copies made. There should be copies in every university, and it should be accessible to the Guan youth. This is the history. It's not just in the social studies book, and I taught social studies here 11 years here in Ghana. And the only thing about the Guans is that they arrived in 1000 AD. But it's more to it than that. There are 28 Guan groups spread throughout Ghana, Benin, okay, Togo, and Ivory Coast. There were wars, battles, changes in chieftaincies. He did the work. He passed away at the age of 92. He traveled throughout Ghana to write the research. It's not any other out there. What we need is scholars to build on this. Remember, this is the last press. As of 2011, there is nothing else but a lot of internet articles. We need books and we need writers. To the kings, there are only 2 copies, like I said. I have 1 copy. This is to the kings. Guard this with your life. Until we can get more copies made, until you negotiate with US. He's the professor. He has the copyright. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. You shake, no, you shake from the right. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor. And thank you, the acting director of GT. Right. Okay. So we will take. So
Today's theme for the gathering is S.K.M, breaking barriers, building bridges across Guan lands. Yes, it's very, very necessary, and that has.
Dr. Makelda, I welcome you once again to S.K.M Media 7. This is the first time you are on S.K.M Media 7, and I want to ask you, today the Guan had a program of unification, togetherness, for them to bring those that are different places, for them to come together to unite. And today you also came here and you presented a book to the president. What at all have you seen over here that you think the president and his elders have to work on it to improve more on that, so that the diasporans who are also Guans, that they need to come back, or those that don't know their history, for them to also come back? What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think what we need right now is to understand the history. Once we understand the history, there will be an opportunity to start unifying. My concern is the fact that we have so many languages, and that's what really divides our people. Is it any kind of way that we could bring our people together and agree upon how the languages would be conveyed and how to even be written in dictionaries?
Okay.
So that's what we need to deal with. And that brings unity, because we have to work together to get that completed.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Today, as we came here, I don't know whether you understand the Guan language or not, but it seems everything that they did over here, they were speaking the Guan language. And for them to, break barriers for others to also learn and know much about what happened over here, do you think they have to, blend it or add the English language to it, so that those that don't understand the language will also understand what is going? Because what happened over here is good worldwide, and the diasporans and those that don't understand the language, we have people who are also Guans that they don't also understand the Guan language. But if they say whatever happened and they do it in the English form, don't you think it will help than using only the Guan language? Are they limited to the language that they are speaking?
Well, the problem is not the language limitations. The problem is unifying the languages. Use what is used more often and create a standard so they can communicate with one another. I think you were also describing a working language as far as English is concerned, and that's been a problem with all of Africa as far as these European languages. But we have to have some kind of working language as we grow, as we could proceed to even try to, reclaim our cultures, our languages, and in order to cross over and be able to communicate with one another. So, and that's the issue right now. The only thing about it is, my concern is tribalism.
Okay.
And the fact that
over here or other, or like those that are doing the tribalism, or you are talking the tribalism, are you referring to the Guan state or the entire country?
No, the entire country has tribalism problems. Okay, but when it comes to the Guan, same thing, and we just have to find a means to set up a standard. There are 28 Guan dialects, and it might be more today, but that was count in 2011, just as he published the book. So we don't know how many dialects are out there now. It's 2026. So, but the fact is that I'm speaking with the president of the Guan Congress, and we're trying to see how he can go ahead. And I'm not the only one. He has also selected others to help work with him. And I'm very proud of their effort. I'm very proud of the fact that they're even to work with the African Diaspora. Okay, there is no xenophobia there. Okay, so I salute them, and I salute what they they did today, and the fact that they're trying their best among themselves to unify, but they're finding those obstacles. That's what they are trying to work on right now. Mm-hmm.
You being a researcher, what will you say about the Guan people, because they are the first settlers that came over here to Ghana, and now if we're supposed to have kingship and other things, the Guan's supposed to dominate, but it seems the Akans are the ones rather dominating. What do you think the Guan's people also have to do to let people know about them?
Well, the thing about the Guan people, they're very quiet people, and they're there, but they're just very quiet, and they have a very kindred spirit. And today I've enjoyed myself at the event. But they are not arrogant. They are not a conceited people. They're not forcing their cultures. They're just living it. And I salute them. And matter of fact, when it comes to all the ethnic groups in Africa, we need to learn how to work together and respect one another's culture and language. Throughout Africa, though, my concern is the fact that there's too many languages. But also, of course, mentioned in the Guans that yes, there's too many languages, and I've discussed with him about getting linguists, getting educators here in the Guan community, and working closely with trying to settle on the language system and the dictionaries and what's to be taught in the school system. Mm-hmm.
You may mention, my final question, you may mention that the history need to be, taught in schools, even to the university level, so that people will know their history. Do you think the Guans really know their history?
Well, quite frankly, I just would narrow it down to Guans. A lot of Africans, even in the African diaspora, are trying to learn their history, and the fact that they're trying to reclaim it. So that's what we're trying to do now. And so we have to just do it one ethnic group at a time, if that's what it takes. Okay, and we have to also write. We have to read and we have to write. We can't let the internet feed us, because the internet wasn't there in Kemet. The internet wasn't there in Punt. Okay, so the internet wasn't there in Tunisia. We knew exactly what we needed to do to get our people taught. That's what we do. And that's what we have to do now. And it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot. It's not going to be easy. But the fact is, it's got to be done. Okay, after 400 years of chattel slavery and all other forms of oppression, now we have to reclaim, relearn, okay, our history and get an understanding about each other. And then we will build that unity and that respect. Mm-hmm.
I can see you were very excited from the beginning of the performance. Which one do you like, and which one would you like to, learn?
No, I liked all of them. All of them were great, and all. And the thing about it is, you can feel it here. Mm-hmm. You can feel it inside, and so it's spiritual, and that's what we need. And we need that healing. We need a healing, okay, and then that's going to make the uniting even better,
Your final message for those that are watching you and the diasporans also, and in case somebody need information or anything, how would a person also get in touch with you?
Oh, okay. Well, the thing about it is that can be contacted at kbennett.muhammad@yahoo. And what we need to do as far as the African diaspora and continental Africa, we need to set up a reconciliation commission. Okay, and that reconciliation commission allows us to become more familiar with one another and each other's culture. The African diaspora does have a culture, in every part of it. Okay, so we don't repatriate to Africa culturalists. So the continental Africans and the African diaspora need to learn about one another, and it's going to take teaching of the history, and it's going to take patience and tolerance.
Thank you so much. But in case somebody needs information, because you are a researcher, you know a lot that people should come to you to find information. So in case somebody, the diasporans, anybody want information, how would the person reach you? Do you have either a website or social media platform, or do you want to give out any number for them to
No, just basically my email, and then they contact me there, and then I give them my phone number if they're sincere, and then we'll get to work. And I'm also working with some writers organizations, Guan African Writers Association, and also the Ghana Writers Association. So you can contact those associations also, and they, of course, can contact me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So this is Dr. Matilda Mohammed, and a researcher who based in Ghana here, and he lives here for 14 years now, and she's enjoying what she's seeing over here. I think this is her first time coming to a place like this, and I think next year or other program she will be invited again. Dr. Matilda, thank you so much for your time. God bless you.